What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we are on the test server here. You can kind of see this cool looking 17th anniversary background bastion here. And yeah, we're going to be doing a playtest on the event dungeon boss for the upcoming Web of Corruption campaign. And the champion I'm talking about here will be from the Sylvan Watchers. Her name is Rhaia the Mourned. Rhaia the Mourned. Now, she looks pretty cool, and as mentioned, she's going to be the event dungeon boss. Apparently, we can't summon her from random shards during this period of time, but I'm sure there's going to be boosted events for her during this period. She's an attack-based damage dealer. She's Void Affinity. That's awesome. That's a good combination. 1600 base attack with 99 base speed. 69% crit damage is there, which is good to see. Low base HP and okay-ish slash low-ish defense. But the main thing we want to see about her is that whether she can hit. Now, her kit is also very, very interesting. It has potential to be very strong. Let's check out her kit here. A1, double hit on a single target. Each hit will ignore 15% of the target's defense. That's great. You get a little bit of ignore defense there so she can do some damage. It also heals this champion by 30% of the damage inflicted. And lastly, she does have an extra turn mechanic if she kills a target. 20% damage from 2 books. Not too shabby. It's got an A2 here on a 3-turn cooldown when fully booked. Single target is double hit again. Before attacking, places weaken on the target for 2 turns. Will ignore 15% of the target's defense, and any block damage buffs. Will also ignore any additional 5% of the target's defense for each buff on this champion. So the more buffs you put on her, the more damage she's going to do with her A2. Stacks up to 35%, so 7 buffs gives you the maximum, and that's going to give you 50% ignore defense. Very, very nice. Reduces the cooldown of this champion's A3 skill by 1 turn. And places a stun debuff on all enemies for 1 turn if this attack kills the target. This debuff cannot be resisted or blocked. So far we see her A1, A2 both have on-kill benefits. So you definitely want her to deal lots of damage. Lastly, her A3. This is the money-making ability, I think, here. On a 3-turn cooldown when fully booked, you get a AoE triple hit. Before attacking, she's self-buffs with increased attack. Each hit has a 100% chance, when fully booked, of stealing 1 random buff from each enemy. Fills this champion's turn meter by 10% for each buff stolen. So yeah, this ability could be absolutely insane. It could literally read, hit your enemies 3 times, steal all buffs. It could literally just say that. Of course, that's going to be like perfect scenario where, you know, you're not up against Stone Skin, Lightning Cage, Mercurial, and they don't have any protective buffs. Let's say that all happens and you steal every single one of their buffs. You get a massive turn meter boost. And yeah, you're probably going to hit them pretty hard with your increased attack AoE. So this ability has the potential to be absolutely nuts. Any AoE with multi-hit AoEs are going to be really, really strong in this kind of Mercurial meta in Arena. And I don't have to stress how strong this ability is in just general wave content. It's just insane. Lastly, her passive here, also kind of interesting. This champion deals 30% more damage while they're under 3 or more buffs. For the most part, this is kind of easy enough to manage. So you get this 30% like continuous damage boost while the champion is under increased attack, which she self has. Block debuffs and veil or perfect veil. So you need these 3 exact buffs at the same time. Prevent this champion's death, and their debuffs and instant effects cannot be resisted. So that means they're weaken, their buff steals can't be resisted. So no accuracy if you have this set up. Lastly, we got this kind of interesting aura here. Increases ally attack in all battles by 35%. Only applies to Sylvan Watchers. I feel like there is an attack-based damage dealer out there with an aura at 35% in all battles. But I'm not too sure. It might be a mythical or something, but this is a pretty interesting kind of aura. Obviously insanely strong for somewhere like Faction Wars. Anyways, that's her kit. Let's jump into how I built her out. I'm going to give you guys some options here. I think her kit allows some build flexibility, so we'll talk through some options and we'll take her out into some content and see how well she does. All right, so this is my Rhaia The Mourned here. We're just going to use a pretty standard ignore defense set. We're going to use a savage set with a stone skin single turn set here. Now, the main thing with Rhaia is that you want 100% crit rate, you want crit damage, you want good speed, and then of course you want a lot of attack. She does land weaken, and then she does have the ability to steal buffs. Now that's going to require accuracy unless you can fulfill this condition on her passive. So the choice to build accuracy or not really comes down to what you have to work with. If you have nothing on your roster that can reasonably pair with her to allow her to get these buffs, basically you need somebody with block debuffs and Veil. Then you probably need to build her with accuracy. And if we're talking arena or PvP, then you need somebody that is reasonably decent in PvP that you would want to bring in so that you can enable her passive to work. So it might not work for everybody to have these buffs available for her, but that's going to be one of the big factors whether you build accuracy on her or not. Now in this build here, I don't have her with accuracy. I don't have her blessed out. We don't have a relic. We don't have any blessings. So I got 7.1k attack, 278 speed, 300 crit damage, no accuracy on her right now. So we're going to try to pair her up with champions that can give block debuffs and perfect veil. She does bring increased attack on her by herself. So that's one buff that's covered. And obviously this is, it has many benefits. It has the accuracy, lack of accuracy requirement on her, and as well it gives her the prevent fatal damage death. So that's really, really nice if you can get those buffs on her. Now, something like 9-piece Mercurial could work on her also. She does have extra turn mechanic on her A1 on a on-kill effect. And Mercurial could prevent her from being crowd control. She does not have any kind of protection against crowd control. Something else that might be viable is actually giving her a Pharaoh set. So a Pharaoh set actually starts you off with a block debuff, buff. So that could be something that can help you power up her passive. So it fulfills the block debuff requirement and it gives you the one buff towards her extra damage from her passive. So maybe something like Savage with Pharaoh might make sense if you can start off with all of the buffs. That means you don't really need Stone Skin to survive. That's if the enemy doesn't strip off all the buffs, then you're vulnerable. But that kind of works the same with Stone Skin, whereas if they strip off the Stone Skin, then you're vulnerable. But Stone Skin has, its built-in mechanic that prevents itself from being stripped off, whereas these buffs can't be protected in that way. So it is a little bit risky. The other way to fulfill these buffs right at the beginning of the turn is somebody like Necrit. Necrit places block debuffs right away. And by far the best relic on this champion that you really, really want to have is actually the Lens of Intangibility. Now, this Lens of Intangibility opens up quite a bit for this champ because the Lens gives you a starting Veil right away. So that already fulfills one of the requirements for her passive. If you have this on her and a Pharaoh set, then you're covering two of the buffs already, which is the Veil and the block debuff. And then she can self-buff herself with the increased attack. And yeah, she can be basically, immune to, well, not immune to damage, but prevent her death and not require accuracy. So there's a couple ways to build around this to try to make this work. So you either fulfill these with champions or you fulfill these with a combination of relics and sets. It's whatever your account has, right? I think for the initial showcase here, we'll showcase her in just a generic build and try to fulfill the conditions here with champions. That's probably what most people would do. And then we'll juice her up, give her everything, and give her the best case scenarios and see how well she does. In terms of the overall masteries here, we did omit Helm Smasher just for some damage testing. These are probably going to be the most likely used masteries for her. You want the Shield Breaker, big damage on first hit, counterattack on the A1, or A1 is pretty nice. And yeah, so let's bring her out into some damage testing and we'll see how well she does. All right, so let's bring her into this Dragon Heart 10 here and we'll test out her damage and animations. We brought in Duchess. She is pretty ideal for her because she brings the Veil, block debuff, and plus attack on one ability. So if they ever get stripped off her for whatever reason, she can get it back just from one champion, which is great. So let's get this going here. So let's see what we can do. We got decreased defense and weaken on everybody. And now we are going to buff up. So we do have her passive active. It would be nice if they had some kind of indicator, but hey, get good, I guess. And she will have the damage boost here. So she's having the 30% damage boost. So let's test out her AoE. This is going to be a big ability that we want to see. Yeah, so let's test it out. One time speed and boom, boom, boom. 60, like about 60, 50 around there on a triple hit. So about like 150 to 180-ish. Let's check out our total damage here. Just under 1 million. Now we'll hop back in and test our A2. All right, let's go and decrease defense and weaken. We'll attack Venus here. Increase attack. It's got all the good stuff going on. So this one's going to be placing the weaken. So we already have that. It's going to get 15% ignore defense. And then what else? We have 6 buffs. We have 6 buffs, so that's going to give us 30%. So we have 45% ignore defense. Let's see if we can make it happen here with the A2, one-time speed, animations, and pop. 190, 160. So that's going to be a chunky 250k hit on one target. Oh, sorry, 350k hit, my bad. No Helm Smasher procs or anything like that. We'll drop out and bring in another champion here just to compare. All right, so in this case, we're going to bring in our Sun Wukong here. Very similar stats as our Rhaia, and Wukong does have an AoE. Plus, he also has a single target hit with similar amounts of ignore defense. So we can roughly gauge Rhaia's kind of multipliers and output. Let's do the decreased defense and weaken. We also get the same amount of bounce here from the Duchess, so the increased attack is there. Let's test out the AoE in terms of damage. No Helm Smasher here, so the damage will be consistent. So we'll come on out. The AoE is pitching in 633,000 damage. That's pretty significantly lower than what Rhaia was doing. Rhaia was just doing just under 1 million damage. So Wukong's AoE definitely was not catching up there. Let's test out the single target hit here. So Wukong does have 50% ignore defense on his A2. And I'm curious how much damage this will do compared to Rhaia's A2. Targeting the Venus. And then we're going to duck out. And the A2 is doing 324,000 damage. That's very similar to what Rhaia's A2 is doing. I think Rhaia was doing 350. So if you want to take a look here, these are Sun Wukong's multipliers. 5x attack on the single target. And then on the AoE 3.8 by attack. So Rhaia here does have a passive that boosts her damage by 30%. So she has that going for her. So her passive damage boost obviously contributes to the damage difference because she was doing 1 million, Sun Wukong doing about 600,000. But it's probably still more than 3.8 for the AoE attack. I mean, total multiplier because she does do a triple hit. My guess is it's probably somewhere around 1.4 x attack per hit, which gives her a total multiplier about 4.2, somewhere around there. That would be my guess. Honestly, that's a really good multiplier if that's the case, considering that her AoE attack has so many benefits. Obviously, the Terminator boost, the buff steal, and the fact that it's a multi-hit AoE ability. If she has a better multiplier than somebody like Sun Wukong, I would say she's doing pretty good. As for the single target hit from Rhaia versus Sun Wukong has a 5x multiplier on her single target his single target ability, and he has a built-in 50% ignore defense. Now Rhaia was hitting for 45% ignore defense, but again, she still had that 30% damage boost from her passive. They were doing roughly about the same damage. Rhaia was doing a little bit more, 650 to 630, somewhere around there. On the AoE, she was doing 1 million versus about 650. On the single target, she was doing about 350 versus Sun Wukong's like 320, 330. So I think without the passive boosting her by 30%, her multiplier might be just shy of 5 on her A2. And that was with basically near max buffs. I mean, even if it was 5 on a single target, the fact that it can weaken, the fact that it can go through block damage, and then he has the reset ability here with the AoE stun. That's a lot packed into one single ability on a 3-turn cooldown. So I think it has pretty good value. For me, the multipliers check out pretty well. Not horrible at all. Probably on the better side of good. Let's give her Helm Smasher and let's take her out into some content. All right, let's bring her into hard faction wars here and let's see how well she does against some of the waves. Now, she is going to just be, kind of like a damage dealer. She doesn't bring a ton of control unless you can kill stuff with her A2. You kind of see her, she just deleted that Ancora, which is pretty crazy. She was juiced up with all those buffs, so then she was getting the max ignore defense. That's really nice. That's kind of like one way you can kind of see her working out. Let's see here. We do have the plus attack still on her. Block debuffs, no veil. Extra turn mechanic. Very nice. Extra turn. Very, very nice there. All right. Let's see what else we can do. All right. We got some buffs we can strip off. Can we drop some strips here? That would be kind of cool. Let's see it happen. Unfortunately, we need accuracy for that to happen. All right, let's try it anyways. Let's see if we can get something here. Nope, we didn't get anything. So a little bit of accuracy would have been helpful in this situation. This team does have the ability to cover her passive outside of the veil stuff, but it is possible. Okay, let's do her A2. She's going to get 20% ignore defense on top of her base 15, so 35%. She's going to land the weaken also. And if we kill somebody, she's going to be able to reduce 1 turn on her A3. So let's see if we can kill somebody here. Can we kill through this ally protection? I don't know. Nope, we can't, unfortunately. Nope. Somebody with Veil would be pretty nice. I know Elva brings Veil, but that's on the revive. All right. No Veil, unfortunately, so she doesn't have the passive condition. So let's see if we can just steal some stuff. Anyways, we don't. Note to self. If you're not using her in arena with the set team, you probably want to build her with some accuracy, just so she has the ability to always at least steal something. Makes it a little bit more useful. All right, here comes the A2. 5 buffs, so that's an extra 25% ignore defense. Not quite there. But I mean, she is serviceable for a damage dealer. Obviously, she's not juiced out yet, but we're going to buff her up and bring her to some PvP content. Let's see. All right, we just set this on full auto. Just watch her go to town. There we go. A1, actually really nice. A1s are really nice. Okay. I mean, any kind of damage dealer for this faction is going to be very good. Got a bunch of protected buffs, which is great. And there's block damage. Nice. Decreased defense. I mean, Daithe's A1 was hitting for 120 there, cumulatively. But yeah, this Daithia has like 6-star crushing Ren and stuff. All right, pick her back up. Ugh. Maybe we should bring in like Emic with the unkillable. That might make more sense. Oh, she does have Veil. She has all the buffs right now. Veil, block debuffs, plus attack. She has all of it happening right now. Oh. Well, look at her. Look at all the buffs going off on her. A1. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, like I said, this one doesn't have relics, doesn't have blessings. He's just straight out of the shard. Obviously, any kind of relics or additional stats would be really, really good. And then, yeah, we're gonna get the job done here. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. She's doing the bulk of the damage here. 4 million damage. Now, recently we just did kind of a similar showcase with Folin, the fusion champion, and then he actually was able to push this team way faster than what she can do. I think the big thing with him is that he does bring the block passes, which kind of makes the waves a little bit easier to deal with. So that probably just sped everything up. Okay, let's bring her into some arena. Now, in this case, I'm probably going to juice her up here. I'm going to give her the maximum that we can build her out to, which is the 6-star, fully blessed. Let's see what she can actually do against these arena champions, arena teams. We're going to give her all the stats. And yeah, we're going to give her proper blessing and the best relic possible. So the best relic possible is going to be, like I said, the Lens of Intangibility. So that's going to be right here. I do have one, luckily. So, what do we have? Multi-hit skills. Each time you increase damage per kill, and then extra ignore defense. The big thing here is that she gets the veil right away. In terms of the blessing choice, she brings 50% ignore defense. You could go, there's a couple of things you could go. You could go Crushing Ren, you can go Soul Reap, but I think the most value might be Lightning Cage. A 5-star would be also very good for Lightning Cage, just to protect her buffs from getting stripped off. So we'll go with Lightning Cage here. I think that's going to be the most beneficial. Just checking out our total stats. 317 speed, 338 crit damage, 242 accuracy, a little bit more accuracy, 8.1k attack. Now you want her to go a little bit fast, or at least a little bit faster than like your slower damage dealer, because she does have the ability to remove mercurial stacks. All right, so I changed up her build a little bit here. We did add the 6-star blessing. We went with Lightning Cage. I do have the lens of intangibility, which is her best relic. It gives her the perfect veil. And then we are going with a single piece of mercurial. You could definitely go with Pharaoh as well, but I think giving her Pharaoh without any kind of protection right out of the gate is a little bit risky, because she's not going to have this passive up right away, because unless you have somebody that applies increased attack on her right away and you go first. So in the event that she doesn't go first, you need her to be protected, but she won't be, because she won't have the increased attack, even if you have the lens for the perfect veil, and even if you have Pharaoh for block debuffs, she still needs increased attack to get the benefit from her passive. So we just don't have that. So I think the most reasonable build out for her would probably be to pair her up with some champions that can supply her with those buffs. So I think for myself, we are going to go with Necrit. Necrit is very consistent, and it should offer her some protection. All right, let's try this team out first. So yeah, we do have the block debuffs from Necrit, and then the veil is going to come from the lens. And yeah, she brings the self buff on herself. Look at all the buffs on her already. So she's going to be maxed out on her A2. Double weak hit. Hate that. All right, so let's go. Okay, so she's fully cranked out with her A3. Let's see what she can do here. Yeah, let's see. Slow it down one time for the cameras. Look at all these unprotected buffs. Can we steal everything? Oh my goodness, we just delete everybody. Unbelievable. Holy cow, we literally just deleted the whole team. All right, let's try this team. I don't know how it's going to do against Bayek here. Probably not too good. She has low accuracy. Let's see if she can go through, at least kill a bunch of the other champions. Oh my god, this Fabian is too fast. We're going to not work out against this guy's team. Let's try this team. Let's try this team here. Definitely going to go first with our Fabian. Do we have enough damage to kill some of these champions? Let's see. Do get resisted a little bit. All right. So we can knock off this Nice's mercurial stacks and deal damage with the last hit. Let's see if we can steal some of these stone skins. Let's see. Hit, hit, hit. Ooh. We actually killed the Lady Noelle, which is huge. And that one extra hit punctured, hit that Nice pretty hard. So shut her down. And we can go through block damage. So Necrit, let's send the A1 into the Freya. Ooh, look at that A1, 150k. 150k. Look at all the buffs on her. She's fully maxed out in terms of like buffs. Can we shut down this Nice? We do. And let's do the A1 on the chicken. Get the extra turn. 221k on the A1. I think that's kind of crazy. And then the A2 instantly deletes the Nice. Crazy damage. Now the build is pretty good. The build is pretty good. Let's try this team. It's gonna be a speed team, speed race most of the time, of course. But if she gets to go first, she's gonna be able to delete some of these teams here. Let's see. Okay, Stone Skin still on everybody, unfortunately. All right, let's see if we can steal some of the Stone Skin stuff. She's going to have the condition fulfilled, so she doesn't need accuracy. Let's see if we can do anything. Oh, look at all the... Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, my God. All those buffs. just taken away, and then the entire team gets deleted. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're in trouble now. We're in trouble now, are we? Let's see. A1. A1. Oh my goodness. And oh, full evade. No. Damn it. The predator. Damn that predator. Well, that's what you guys get when you get to deal with the predator, I guess. Now against this team, I don't think we're gonna last very long against the Taras Marichka. Let's see if we can find another team here. How about I mean this team. Let's see. Let's see how this team's gonna work. The best thing about her is that her ability is irresistible, so she doesn't need crazy accuracy for the steals. Wow. Galathier and Theodosia resisted. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, guys. All right. Can we steal? We can hit through the Mercurial stacks, which is really nice. Hit, steal. Ooh, almost killed the nice, actually. Almost killed that nice. Crazy stuff. Galathier, I think, has the cleanse. No, she's going to transform. Okay. Gonna A1 him. Guess protect him. Okay. All right. So we got the single target hit. Let's see. We got 2, 4, 6, 6 buffs, 5 buffs. Yeah. Let's see if we can delete this Galathier. Oh, right. It's not going to work because of the Bayek passive, unfortunately. Okay, let's go for the steals. It's all getting resisted now. The buffs are falling off. It's just a little bit inconsistent. Like if you don't get the chance to go first with her, and you don't have a way to reapply those buffs, she's not going to be as effective, right? All right, let's try this team again. This time we're going to bring in Carnage to take out the passives, hopefully. And then this time we're going to bring in Duchess because the fight's going to drag on a little bit. So we do need her buffs back to give her the benefit of not requiring accuracy. So let's get to it. We got a weak hit. We have weak hit and 2 resist. Feels bad, man. Luckily, we didn't get anything bad happen there. Okay, so we got all the buffs ready to go. Can we hit through some of this stuff? 1-time speed. We stole the stone skin, which is really nice. And we killed the nice. Wow. Really crazy stuff. And this time we have Carnage here with the block passives. So hopefully this will work. Let's shut down the Bayek there. Okay, kind of worked. Kind of worked, kind of not. Yeah, so far seems okay. Can we shut her down? No, we can't. Okay, I think we're okay here. This one will only go through block damage, unfortunately. Let's see here. We can't kill anybody right now. We can't kill anybody, so perhaps we just bring down the Mercurial stacks. Ooh, actually hits the A1 actually does pretty good, it seems. All right, let's go. I think we got this team here, as long as nothing crazy happens. Obviously, Carnage doing a lot of the heavy lifting here with the block passives. Very, very powerful. Again, showcasing how strong block passives is. Can we strip off the unkillable? No, not quite. Okay, we need to protect her or else. Okay, so A1 for the heal, perhaps? A1 for the heal. And then maybe we can strip. Oh, we can't because she doesn't have the accuracy to, but she might be able to. I don't know. Let's A1 again. There we go. Okay. Carnage getting in there. Got the revive here. So like I said, we needed the insurance policy here. A little bit of insurance with the Duchess. And Carnage. Oh, he has the Zeba's passive. So we're only going to be doing non-crits against this guy. But boom, there we go. Take him out. Non-crit 69k. I mean, this is a pretty crazy team, right? It's a pretty crazy team. I mean, if we want to say the craziest team, I mean, we might as well just jump into here and see what happens. Let's see what happens here. We're probably gonna just get super locked down by this Torment. Ooh, a lot of stuff happening. Bad stuff happening. Oh, we got the full lockout, but then the block, this block buffs here is kind of nasty. I think I'm just gonna apply it. At least we get the application on the A1. Oh, we get the extra turn here. Can we do it? The AoE, boom. Big slaps. Ooh, that's nice. We shut him down. Nope. We did steal the unkillable from somebody. I don't know. Block damage. We can go through the block damage. Oh, we don't have. Okay, we do have the additional 30% damage from his passive. And we have 3 buffs. So 30% ignore defense. Can we kill this nice with the A2? Oh, we do 107k on the first hit. It's a double hit, right? Oh man, that's big. That's big. We did get sheeped, but we got this pretty much in the bag here. There we go. Oh my goodness, we took down this team. Crazy team. Oh, that was pretty fun. She's pretty fun champ for sure. All right, let's hop into here against Scratch's team. This is the Taras Marichka. This time might be a little bit different because we do have Carnage, because he can kind of deal with Marichka's passive. Let's see what happens here. I think our Fabian's just going to get one shot here and popped 353k. Crazy stuff. Yes. Revive, that's fine. Okay, so we do have the irresistible buff removal and the triple hit. Let's see what happens. Some protected buffs here, and we are protected from Taras's hit because we do have the Mercurial stack, which is nice. If you had Stone Skin instead of Mercurial, you would still be protected, so it's okay. All right, let's see it happen. Hit. Oh, look at those steals. Oh, man. Those steals are wild. 295k here. Block passives on the Marichka, and I think that's going to be see you later. We shut him down. No more of this nonsense from Mr. Taras. Kill him. Oh, what happened there? That's kind of weird. Oof. Oh, we're getting sheeped. Oh. Oh my god, look at that hit. Crazy. Well, that kind of sucks. Anyways, I think we fumbled the win there a little bit. He does have sheep on 3 of his guys, 6 stars. This is how you do it, guys. Stalling tactics, getting the lucky sheeps, giving your team a chance to win. But we probably just should have attacked him with no debuffs. We just rushed that attack there at the end, but otherwise it would have been over. But performing pretty well, honestly, performing pretty well. Big problem with her is that, you know, she can be crowd controlled, and she can't really deal with those crazy passives that everybody has. But so far, doing pretty good in this kind of team here. We can go after the Stone Skin. Everything else is kind of protected. So the alternative is, I guess we kill Fabian. That's it. No, let's go with the triple hit here. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. We stole the Stone Skin, and we can shut down her passive. Oh, she resisted. That is crazy. Crazy resistance on this Marichka. Okay, let's just get rid of her and then deal with this. Okay, so I don't recall if Donnie's passive triggered, but gonna have to do something here. Really nice. We got the irresistible stun also getting placed once you kill somebody, so that's really nice as well. I guess that's gonna be it. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Unless this Predator has something else to say, that's gonna be it. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this showcase here on Rhaia. She performed pretty well in PvP. Obviously, there's some weaknesses in her kit. She can't really do it all by herself. That's probably the biggest knock against her. Her damage, I think, is really nice. Her damage is really nice. You saw how well we took care of some of those really, really crazy teams. But the thing is, she can't do it by herself. She does place plus attack on her, which is good. But she does need some help with the veil, the block debuffs, just to get this, just to fulfill the accuracy requirement on this ability. This ability is really strong, really, really strong. The problem is she needs this to make it work, or you build her out with accuracy so that she's more of a hybrid style build. I don't think she's going to deal enough damage in some kind of hybrid style build, but she doesn't need to perhaps be the only damage dealer. You can also maybe even build her similar to how you build like a Marius, somebody really fast, somebody with good accuracy, and then you can take out this conditional passive requirement, because it's a little bit difficult to get this going. Ideally, she has ignore defense in her build, but if you can get away with like I said, 9-piece Mercurial, but if you do have the lens, you do have some ignore defense here to give her a little bit of a boost. I think she might be okay. But in terms of overall damage, you guys can kind of see she was doing pretty well, taking on some pretty beefy teams there. We don't have crazy amount of accuracy here, just a little bit if she doesn't have the proper conditions for her passive. Her A1's really nice, the extra turn mechanic, a little bit of healing. This is also very nice to go through block damage. And this hits pretty hard. This hits pretty hard. To me, she's definitely very, very strong, but I think she's missing that last little bit. She's missing that last little bit. Like, she hits hard, but there's lots of champions that hit hard. This ability is very, very powerful. Like, it hits well, self buffs, and it has all this other crazy stuff going on. Triple hit, AoE, stealing buffs, turn meter stuff. But the rest of her kit, it's more like, oh, hit hard, hit hard. I feel like she's missing just that little bit to push her over the edge of being like top 1, top 2, top 3 type of champion in the game. She's obviously still very strong, but at the core of it, she's still kind of just a damage dealer, I feel like. Still very impressive damage. I still would be incredibly happy to draw this champion. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the showcase for Rhaia The Mourned. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully it give you guys the information that you guys need. Thanks for watching until the end. Appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.